Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's virtual Sunday School. Man, it is hot in here. I am sweating. What? Oh, now I know why. Because I said that we were going to talk about the book of Revelation. Now, most of you have probably heard about that book, and you've heard about all these fantastical images like the Antichrist and the Beast, 666, Lake of Fire, all brimstone and all of that. Well, is that really what it's going to be? Is that what this book is about? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today and find out what the Orthodox Church thinks about the book of Revelation. So the book of Revelation is supposedly the book about the future. Now, who would God entrust this knowledge to? Who would he give that to? Well, it would have to be Jesus' best friend, who was John, the beloved disciple. I mean, it's not like Jesus said,
well, I can't really tell you the lottery winnings, or I can't tell you who's going to win in the Roman Bowl, but you know what? Why don't I tell you about the end of the world?
No! Okay, no. That's not what's going to happen. Okay, so what did happen? Well, one day, John was doing what all of us as Christians do. It was Sunday, and he was praying. And during his prayer, all of a sudden, the world changed around him, and he sees Christ. So he's thinking,
"Oh, Jesus, is this the second coming? Are you back?"
And he's like,
"No, it's not the second coming, but I'm here to tell you about the end of the world."
"The end of the world? Is that coming now?"
And Jesus said,
No, it's not coming now. This is a prophecy of what will come.
And John's like,
"Okay."
And so he told him things about the new heaven, what heaven's going to look like. He told him about the fight that he's going to have with Satan. He told him about plagues that are going to cover the earth. And he also told him the most important thing, that he truly is coming again, and that all of us will enjoy heaven. So all that doesn't really sound so fantastical, right? So where does all this other prophetic visions come from, like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, 666, and all the false prophets, and this huge dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns? Why are so many adults scared by these visions that we call prophecies? Like, for example, you'll hear people talk about the mark of the beast or the number 666, and people get all bent out of shape about, what does that mean? And they think the end of the world is coming, and they think all kinds of things are going to be the sign of the mark of the beast. A tattoo is the mark of the beast, or maybe this UPC code when you buy stuff, that's the mark of the beast. So are we all supposed to be afraid of shopping in Walmart because we see those? No, that's not what our church believes. So you'll hear people who are afraid of these things. But all along in our Sunday school videos, what have we been saying? We've been saying that Christ is our strength, that Christ is the one who is going to overpower everything. We don't need to be scared of silly UPC codes. They're not going to hurt us because we have Christ. And that's what we've been talking about in all of our Sunday school videos. And that's one of the real messages about Revelation, is that Christ in the end is going to conquer all. In fact, if there's one line in Revelations that we should remember, it's that Christ is the Alpha and the Omega. These are the Greek letters of the beginning and of the end. That means Christ has always been with us, and he will always be with us. So are all these things real? Should we interpret Revelations literally? No, not necessarily, because Jesus gave us 2 other things that John tells us in Revelation. Number 1, be watchful. We've always heard that. Even through Holy Week, we hear that. Be watchful because we don't know when Christ is going to come again. So we need to do all of those things that we've been learning about in Sunday school that all good Christians do. And number 2, Christ warned us, even when he was alive on earth, he said, beware of false prophets who preach in my name. And John in Revelation says the same thing. He says, watch out for false prophets, people who will use Jesus' name. And that's like the worst sin of all, when somebody says, who is a false prophet and wants you to do something bad and says, well, that's something that Jesus would want you to do, or I say this in the name of Jesus. That's the worst sin of all. And that's also what Revelations is warning us about, is always being watchful and watch out for false prophets, those people that don't preach what Jesus told us to do. So how do we watch out for false prophets? How do we know when there's a false prophet? We always ask questions. That's who we are as Orthodox. If you don't know something, ask the question. If you want to know more about something, then you ask your priest or you ask your parents, and they can give you books that you can read. We should always question if we don't understand something. Even I ask questions. I'm still asking questions. I'll ask my fellow priests. I'll ask the bishop things that I don't understand because I want to know. I want to make sure that I don't now follow some false prophet. So this isn't just about you. It's about everybody can be misled if they're not watchful and careful. And that's something we do with these Sunday school videos, is we ask questions and then we give answers then to those questions. And we're going to keep doing that when we come back in September. And speaking of Alpha and Omega, that's something that we did this season with Virtual Sunday School, is we took you from the birth of Jesus all the way to his death and resurrection. What we're going to be doing September when we come back is we're going to be looking at some exciting adventures in the Old Testament. You thought the New Testament was exciting and interesting? Wait until you hear about what some of the Old Testament prophets did. So thanks again for a wonderful season, and we'll see you all back in September.